I lost to Aaron in fantasy.
Dude, that shit is so wild. I beat Ethan McGann, and I'm so fucking happy
Isn't
about
he
it.
the one leading the league right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Me
So
and
like,
him are tied for first place, but since he has more points than me throughout the weeks, he's technically still in first.
so me and you have both beaten him. We've been the only two
Yeah.
people to give him his loss.
Yes. Hey, that
Um,
was you?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. You were very happy. Like you're sitting there like, oh, this is my chance to fucking get to number one, and then you fucking, I think, no, fucking, you guys just ended up like both just winning the next couple weeks in a row,
Yeah.
and you're really just fucking like, yeah, let's do this. I know I'm still gonna be in number four. Like I gotta fucking. I wasn't too heartbroken over my loss, but it still sucks that like all my players decided to score less than 20. Like my star players barely broke 15, I think. Let me look at it right quick.
If Tom, if they can, um, if Tom can beat Ethan, that'd be amazing for me.
So like Josh Allen only scored 12 points. Stephon Diggs 12 points.
Yeah.
T Boyd, who like in previous weeks was scoring like 10 to 15 points. Miles Sanders also scoring 12 to 15 points a game for the last couple of weeks. Fucking, or 10 to 15, I should say. They both
Well, a
only
lot of the
got,
teams that you got, they struggled offensively today,
yeah,
which I mean we're gonna talk about.
fucking, they only got 5 points. Cordell Patterson was my only person that like stayed at his same level. Same with Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams 24 points. Cordell Patterson 10 to 15. Sometimes he pops off to 20. And fucking Zach Ertz is out, and then everybody else was on fucking bye weeks. Gano did not hit a single fucking field goal, which I don't fucking understand. Like I
Yeah, I
picked,
don't know. Did they just not do any? Well, I
I
guess we
don't,
can.
I have no idea. I honestly did not watch the games because I was fucking dying from that head cold I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah,
Like I was just so dead that I'm just like putting on fucking whatever movie I can, just like to drone out the fact that like my head's just throbbing and I'm coughing, constantly coughing up shit.
yeah,
Which
and
I,
just taking like a day.
yeah, it was that whole weekend. I was just sitting there feeling like shit. Like I woke up Saturday morning, garbage. Just did not want to live my life anymore because the head cold was just so bad. I had to fucking. I don't even have tissue, so I just had a roll of toilet paper, just blowing my nose and shit.
Really?
Yeah,
Ain't where the fuck are your tissues at?
the person that shall not be named has them. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Yeah. Let's get into fucking. I paid attention a little bit. Like I check up on the scores from the ESPN app.
Yeah.
Just kind of paid attention a little bit here and there. Looked at some highlights and was just like, huh, what's going on with NFL? And then it's just like everything fucking went to shit.
Yeah.
It was like last week where like all the teams that were sitting there like, what the fuck happened? Like,
There's just a lot of chaos going on right now.
yeah,
Some of them that we were predicting pretty well.
we did. So let's get right into it. So we both had the Titans winning for this
Yep, and
week,
they did.
and they did. Um,
Tannehill finally getting 2 touchdowns.
yeah, I know.
So that's I'm glad that they're kind of getting back in
Steelers put up
their
a fight against the Bengals, 37-30. So like I'm me being a Steelers fan, I'm not mad about that.
no. I mean, you guys had takeaways. Apparently, like from what I'm seeing in the highlights and stuff like that, the first half you guys were doing great. Najee Harris, fucking 20 carries, 90 yards, 20
Yeah.
touchdowns. Like that's an outstanding start for him.
Oh yeah,
After he's
Najee,
been kind of a bust this year.
he has been.
Uh, but I mean, after that, you guys just kind of, I don't want to say gave up, but
Yeah.
less of a fight.
Uh, we both had. No, I had the Falcons winning, so I ended up winning that one, and you had the Bears.
Correct. Yep. I honestly thought that, and it was a really close
It
game.
was 27-24. So
It was,
we both it was a toss up on that game.
yeah. Young Ho Koo had I think the scoring 53-yard field
Yeah.
goal. So it's all right. A lot of their stats are very similar. When it comes to like the game, it's just really close. And
Honestly, like, I mean, even though the Bears are 3-8, I still would put them up there as like the majority of their losses have been very close. And so it's just kind of
the
like,
problem is most of their losses come from away. They're 1-5 away.
yeah.
So that means they only have 2 wins and 3 losses at home, which isn't ideal.
No, it's not ideal at all. But I
don't. They're not going to be making a playoff run. I can tell you that.
No, but I definitely can see them playing 10 times better next season. Like once they get a little bit, they figured out their shit. As long as like nothing really changes and all they do is add in better players, I think that the Bears will definitely be a team we'll be talking about a lot more often in positive light.
Really, Justin Fields he's like because he had 1 rushing and 1 throwing touchdown today.
And Justin Fields is not a bad quarterback.
No, the things that I say about mobile QBs is you just gotta be careful because a lot of the time they just get lower body injuries because either they get tackled or
concussions. It's concussions and lower body injuries.
Because that was Patrick Mahomes' first, either it was his first 2 years or his second and third year. He was just having those ankle problems.
Yeah. We both had the Bills winning, which is kind of a given. Bills beating the Browns 31-23. The Browns did put up a fight. I mean,
yeah.
Eagles Colts. That's a lot closer than I'd like it to be.
I was really nervous because it was like the Eagles' winning drive.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: in their first 3 quarters, they only did 3 points.
Yeah.
The Colts were just fucking. I think they had a game plan, and I'm giving more credit to Jeff Saturday. I mean, I think if they would have been able to get less, because it's for the Colts, it was touchdown in the first quarter and then a field goal, a field goal, a field goal. That's all they did. So they're getting into the enemy zone, but
they're just not able to fully get it.
They're just not. If they would have had one more touchdown, I think it would have been harder for the Eagles to come back because, I mean, they did a fourth quarter comeback where they're down, and then they come back with 14 points to win it for them. So, but I mean, I don't want to say Jalen Hurts looked bad, but he didn't look as good as he's been looking.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor finally getting out and scoring touchdowns and stuff like that.
About damn time. We both had the Jets beating the Patriots. I think we were both going for the MILF Hunter, but Mac Jones fucking Jones, Daniel
Jones. Their offenses, neither one of the offenses had anything to do with the victory. It was both defensive, game. It was, I have the Patriots on fantasy, and they got me 17 points or something. But I mean, if they do, that punt return touchdown, here's the thing I'll say, I don't want to say that Zach Wilson's trash. I think once he goes versus high caliber defenses like Patriots,
he doesn't understand what he's doing.
Yeah, he's too green, he's too young, so he makes dumb decisions, and it ends up kind of costing them.
I mean, at the same time, I don't think that's a bad thing because he's definitely learning.
No.
He's learning a lot. Same with fucking Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people criticize is that they're really quick on Mitch Trubisky. They're really patient. It's because they're young quarterbacks and they've only been in the league for a couple weeks. Except for Zach Wilson, he's been. I think this is
his first season.
Really?
I think so. I think this is his rookie season, but he was out for the first 3 weeks due to an injury in training camp.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all young, so I think as the years go on, they'll get better.
I definitely can believe that Zach Wilson, Kenny Pickett, along with Trevor Lawrence, fuck, who's the other one? Joe Burrow. They're going to be like the future quarterbacks of the
Jalen
NFL.
Hurts, I
Yeah.
mean,
Tua.
Tua, I mean, he's looking great. He just
Yeah.
has to stay healthy. If he keeps taking
Yeah.
fucking damaging hits like that, yeah, not good.
Fucking. Uh, Saints beat the Rams. And
Yeah.
I know you chose the Rams just because it's your team.
Well,
And honestly, it could have gone either way. They were both fucking. I think they were both 3-7 at the time.
the problem is, well, a huge problem is Matt Stafford can't stay healthy because the O line doesn't protect for him. I think they have
Yeah.
4 sacks. Like that, you can't fucking give up 4 sacks.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the Rams also have 4 sacks, which is amazing.
Hmm.
But I mean, Matt Stafford
He's
left
old.
the game. He wasn't in last week because of concussion.
Yeah.
He left the game early again this week for concussions. I like Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, but they're just not making enough production up front because the line is not there to help make those holes. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing, just frustrating that they're not making an old line. And I understand that a lot of our guys are injured, but they've been injured since the beginning of the season. So what they should have done is try to get help and
Yeah.
try to either trade or pick up free agents,
Yeah.
like practice squad guys, something. And
Yeah.
you're not seeing a ton of that.
They
so.
they didn't do that at all. This one's actually kind of surprising. And I remember looking at this one. It was like, finally the fucking Lions do something. 31 to 18. Yeah.
It was wrong too, and it was Jamal Williams just eating the fuck out of him.
And Jamal, fucking dude, I'm so glad he's back because he fucking Jamal Williams he got injured. Like I think it was either or was it Cordell Patterson? I think they were both injured at one point, but like one of them was on IR
for a little bit.
It probably was Jamal, but he was like one of them was on IR for a hot minute. And like when I first picked them up, they were fucking beautiful. It was amazing. Fucking getting 20 points a game for me. And it was just like, fuck yeah. Adding on to Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen getting me 20 to 30 points, along with Jamal Williams getting me 20 points. I was like, fuck yeah. That's why I was I think for the first couple weeks before Jamal Williams got hurt, I was either number one or like 1 or 2 points away from being number one in our fantasy league.
Yeah.
Just based on score. And I was sitting there like, fuck yeah. And then he got hurt, and then all the injuries just started happening to my roster on fantasy. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, when it rains, it fucking pours in fantasy, man.
But yeah, even though we both chose the Giants, I think we just did that because, like, through trends.
I think they're a safer pick to choose.
Yes.
I think the line beating them is an upset. I mean,
oh yeah,
especially going into MetLife Stadium.
Mm-hmm. And winning that,
the Giants before were 4-1 at home.
Yeah.
Where the Lions were 1-3 away.
Yeah.
So.
And the Lions fucking showed up and played.
Yeah. And I fucking love Dan Campbell so much, and I want him to do so well.
Oh yeah.
So.
We both had the Ravens beating the Panthers. That was
not surprising because the Panthers are trash. But I think if it was any other team, the Ravens might have lost because, I mean, Lamar was just not looking great. I mean, he had an interception.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having him pass a lot and not a ton of rushes. I mean, they only had Kenyon Drake rush 10 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was almost for 50 yards. So, I mean, almost 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But, like, when you having Lamar Jackson throw for 33 times against kind of a piss poor team like the Panthers, if you're a Ravens fan, that should kind of be like a warning. Like, why
Why is this
We're
happening?
struggling in the red zone so much right now.
We both picked the Commanders over Texans, which is an easy pick, 23-10.
I hope Taylor Heineke's the fucking. Oh, ESPN's saying Taylor Heineke wins starting job,
Yep.
which I think is great. I like Taylor Heineke. That's another one of those young guys that I think can really grow.
Yeah.
And make a name for himself. Maybe like if he can, I really like him in a Commanders uniform. So I would like to see him kind of become like a franchise QB with them, and they kind of build around him.
Yeah. And maybe we start seeing Washington be a team that everybody remembers again.
Yeah.
Raiders finally fucking won over the Broncos, and we both chose the Broncos. I don't know why we chose
At first, the Broncos were looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
And it's a divisional matchup, and I mean, they tied in the fourth quarter, and then I believe, the Raiders got the first touchdown. They got the touchdown in the overtime, and they won it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Devontae Adams came out, fucking 2 touchdowns, almost over 140 yards.
Yeah.
Made Derek Carr look really good.
Derek Vehicle. This one's actually kind of surprising to me. The Vikings losing 40-3.
The loss isn't surprising to me. It's the amount of the loss.
Well, we both chose the Vikings. Like we were on the fucking Kirk Cousins fucking chain gang. Fucking. And they just fucking lost like this. Like I don't know what to say for that after that.
The huge thing is the defense. I mean, look at stats. On third downs, the Cowboys were doing 12 out of 17 tries. Mm-hmm. That's really fucking good.
Yeah.
The Vikings were 1-11. That's dog shit. I mean, total yards, they had less than 200 total yards.
So what does that tell us about for like playoffs and shit? Because it's coming up.
That's the thing that I've been saying. Like, the reason that Minnesota is very quiet and no one's really giving them a ton of credit for being 7-1, 8-2 now, is because for the most part they don't have super ecstatic wins. They're barely beating out bad teams or kind of mediocre teams, or I mean they're just getting absolutely donkey swamped by fucking a good team. Because here's the thing: it wasn't Dallas's fucking offense that was doing like the beating. It was majority the defense. Yeah, I mean. Kirk Cousins got sacked 7 times for almost 50 yards. They only rushed 17, only got 73 yards out of it. Yeah. The penalties, the fucking Cowboys are notoriously really bad about penalties. Like, they're really undisciplined with that. But, I mean, even the Vikings had 7 for almost 60 yards. And then time of possession, fucking the Cowboys had 37 minutes while fucking Vikings only had, 22. Yeah. So, yeah, the biggest problem, it was just fucking the defense of the Cowboys. Because, so passing, they had 10 first downs through passing. They had 3 through rushing, so they had virtually no fucking production through running, which I had Devontae Cook, and he shows that, only having 11 carries for 72 yards. They got 3 first downs through penalties, which, that doesn't surprise me because, Dallas' defense is good, but they're super undisciplined, and they get penalties all the time. I don't think they're the number 1 in the league, but they're up there for sure. Okay. Chiefs. And then there's a turnover. I don't know if that's a turnover on downs. It's not a turnover on downs, but it doesn't say fumble or fumble's lost. Never mind. It's 1. So, yeah, they had a fumble.
Chiefs barely beating out the Chargers.
It was a really good back and forth game.
Yeah. And we both talk good on the Chargers. They just haven't been performing as much as we expected them to.
Yeah. Well, their whole team's fucking beat up, especially their defense. That whole sideline's fucking tore up.
And when you just got all those injuries, no matter how much effort you put into that shit, it's just you just can never win. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of like with my fantasy team with all those injuries. Like it's always kind of like, am I actually gonna win this week? It's just like, yeah.
Or I say, I mean, Travis Kelce, I have him on fantasy.
3
Homie definitely
touchdowns.
won me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do this, but I sent him a message on Instagram. He didn't reply,
Yeah.
obviously,
Obviously.
but I sent it to him, and he goes, "Thanks for helping me win the game. Sorry, thank you for helping me win fantasy, uh, big dog. If you come to a Carhartt store in Omaha, I'll hook you up."
Dude, that would be fucking awesome though if he was actually to hit you up, like answer back to you.
I would be ecstatic. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"All right, that you're."
Fucking, what is it? 49ers, Cardinals. With the new fucking DMZ and all that shit fucking dropping, I don't expect the Cardinals to continue performing any, like, good at all. Or at least Kyler Murray.
I think Kyler Murray's out because of a hamstring injury, but he hasn't played since Call of Duty got dropped, so I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it's just coincidence, but I mean,
Who knows at this point, honestly.
dude, I mean, they're backups. Okay, hold up. First of all, the whole team's trash, like undisciplined trash.
Yeah.
They need to get a new coach. Like, I don't know if you saw the one touchdown that it was, I think, George Kittle's second touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
They literally just let him walk in. They were just like, no one put an effort to tackle.
What the hell?
It was, yeah. So I think that team's pretty much given up on their coaching,
Yeah.
which that sucks, but I mean,
So fucking, I was 18 of 27 and you were 16 of 27 in our records, and there was fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think I was
6,
lost by
7,
one this
8,
week.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 games plus the fucking 27. I can't do math in my head. So
I think you had a calculator.
Yep. So that's fucking, well. Okay. All right. Cool. Just had to double check my math,
I got you.
or my counting. Counting's hard. So we both split even on 2 of our fucking games that we split on, and then there was the Saints Rams game. So that puts you down. That puts you down 3 for me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Are you 18 and 41? Is that doesn't seem right?
No. I need to update it.
Okay.
You were. So I was 9 games. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Matt,
5, 6, 7, 8.
Can I
What's up?
offer a easier suggestion?
What's up?
If you just count the white ones and then just add it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Easier. Oh, okay.
So I am 27 of 41, and you are 24 and 41. Which,
Wait,
I mean,
that doesn't seem right.
that seems right.
Out of the 41 picks, we've only gotten like less than half right, or a little more than half right.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of those upset games, or like we go split because it's like picking our team over what we probably know is probably the right one. So it's a mix of that plus just like big upsets, or like teams like showing up and actually playing good when they've been notorious for playing bad. So it's just like, I think that's what's killed us. I mean, if you want to rewatch it and some of the older ones, since we started to keep up with this shit,
I might take a look.
So I was telling you about some of the things that I've been doing just this last week.
Yeah.
And this week too. So my battalion is putting the basketball team together of 14. to play in like a fucking, what is it, division sized intramural basketball league. And we had our tryouts, what was it? Thursday? Like just after we recorded last week's episode. And we just did like a bunch of 3-on-3s, and the dude that's also another team leader in my squad, my fellow team leader, he's the coach, and then his Joe is the one. He played college basketball. He played D1. Fucking
His Joe.
Yeah, lower enlisted, like someone he's in charge of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. G.I. Joe. Like,
gotcha, okay.
Yeah. So we just call him Joe's. Yeah, his Joe was the one that played D1 basketball. And so he's the captain, my buddy's the coach, because me and him, after talking with him, we both just have watched a lot of basketball, and like we might not have the skill to play compared to some of the other people, but we have the basketball IQ, and we can see the full court. And so we're like, hey, we're kind of on the same level. We kind of think the same. Like, even though I didn't make the team, compared to just the pure skill of some of the other players that were trying out, he was like, dude, I'd love having you as like an assistant coach. Like, you actually see the full court. You are understanding the game. And I think
Is that you? Or is that me?
That was you.
Where? I don't even know where that's coming from, though.
I don't know either, dog.
So how do you know it's not?
Nope. Okay. Where'd he go? There he is.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your camera's not on, dog.
Oh, Jesus. Technical. I'm back.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, so like,
I don't know where the fuck that came from.
But yeah, so like now I'm gonna be an assistant coach for our team, and just helping out with whatever I can. And I feel like, there's practices I'll get to hop in every now and then. It'll be good workout, exercise, cardio. Yeah. It'll be fun. Dude, I did not like, compared to how I used to play basketball, where I could play the whole game without fucking going on the bench. My cardio compared to in high school, declined. Like, I could do a 2-mile run. I could do the shit for the Army just fine and pass everything easy. But like doing the up, down the courts, fucking the stopping and starting constantly for fucking 10 minutes straight was just killer, dude. Like, I was sitting there, like, after the first 3-on-3 10-minute game, I was sitting there like, fuck, I'm smoked right now. Holy shit.
When you were in town, like, before, did you ever play Ultimate Tennis with us?
I did not.
Okay, you need to. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
But did I ever explain to you what it is?
No.
So you get the full tennis court, and basically, we just hit it back and forth until, like, if it rolls, then it's like a dead ball, and the other team gets the point. But we just go back and forth.
Yeah.
So we're just ripping it, and it's a lot of running back and forth. It's a lot of fun.
That does sound a lot of fun.
Yeah. We do it at the base gym. We've had some fucking, like, so you know how, like, the base gym, it's in that old hangar? Well, above, like, the court, there's this giant, like, thing that's like a support beam. Josh fucking whipped it, and he shot the ball through, like, he put a hole in the fucking, like, roof, and we were just like, yeah, we just picked up the tiles, and we were like, get out of here.
Fuck. Today, I played a flag football tournament in my company, and it was like platoon on platoon, and we had like the best two platoons going against each other in the first round. And like they told us this after the first drive, like, hey, yo, there's no 5 Mississippi rush, like, you guys can have linemen and they can rush right away. And I was like, all right, cool, bet, because at first they were talking like, okay, Stephen's gonna be the quarterback because this one dude's got really good hands and we don't have a lot of other dudes. He played at a much higher level of football than me, so he's a little bit better of a quarterback, but he also has better hands than everybody else on the team. And he's a lot faster. So he's got more elusiveness and he's got better hands, so they're like, hey, let's keep him as a wide receiver and we'll have Stephens play quarterback. But then another dude had an ankle injury and he can also throw pretty well. Mm-hmm. And so they had him be quarterback. So I'm like, all right, cool. Since we need blocking, I'm a bigger dude, and I know a little bit. I wasn't the best. I never really played offensive line, but I was taught how to do proper blocking. Just grab him at the fucking tits and just keep on pushing him back. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, yeah, sure, cool. And they're like, oh yeah, you also have to snap. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I've never been a snapper before.
And I thought you used to long snap.
No. I was a punter in high school.
I knew you were a punter, but I thought you also did a little bit of the long snapping.
No, I never did the long snapping. So yeah, like all the other dudes, like everybody else was fucking it up, and I'm sitting there like, all right, cool. And every
was it like direct snap or like?
Yeah, direct snap right to the fucking.
No shotguns.
It was shotgun. Yeah. And so like
direct, like both or what?
Oh, direct underneath. Okay, yeah. No, it was a shotgun all the time because it was just like, the majority of us had never played line. When we all played football, we were either on the defense all the time or we were in skill positions. So like everybody that was on the line never actually played offensive line before. Really? So like, yeah, it was just, so like I'm figuring out how to snap a ball properly and also get my hands up to fucking block. Mm-hmm. And that ended up just being like, all right, cool. I'm just going to turn to the side and fucking toss it and then fucking come back up and block them. And I was handling my own against everybody else, but like some of the other dudes, they just didn't know how to fucking communicate or like read the fucking blitz and all this shit. And I feel like that's something I brought with me from playing as a quarterback. I could read how they're fucking lining up and how they're fucking positioning themselves.
Well, if you're the center, couldn't you?
Yeah, I was trying to tell them, but like some dudes, they were just fucking all on their own shit. Like, oh no, I'm right. I'm like, motherfucker, no, like get on the fucking left side. Do you not see these fucking 3 motherfuckers over here? And we only got one other dude plus me, and there's like the dude playing as like the running back, and he's lined up on the right hand side. We're like, motherfucker, get over to the left and fucking get ready for them to brush on that side.
Yeah, Bert, because you're gonna be support right now. There ain't. I always hated running back and flag because if you go right beyond the line, all you gotta do is just stick out your hand, grab that flag, and then boom, okay, you only got 1 yard.
Yeah, it was fucking. But that first game, like once we figured out we could rush, I was the only motherfucker up on the line rushing them, and it was a 1-on-1. They had their center, and there was me, and like I just smoked him every time.
Well, the thing that I liked when we played is I would be your traditional lineman, either end or tackle, and you would more or less play kind of like a middle linebacker type. Yeah. So that you can either rush or you
pop back out and fucking middle. Yeah.
And that's something that we did really well. We would communicate like, okay, like I'm gonna feint it, like I'm gonna make it look like I'm rushing. Yeah. I need you to come in.
And that's also like the other thing, like once we got so used to it, like each other and reading how they're gonna fucking play the ball, we knew what each other were thinking.
And like they were so predictable.
Yeah,
I felt bad because after a while I was just like, especially when they were trying to do like the audibles and stuff like that. Yeah. I was like, okay, like they got us that one. I don't remember. Like I think it was called Rubber Ducky.
Yeah,
I think it's what
they did it one time, and then once we figured it out, it was game over.
Wasn't a big ass flicker.
But like the first game we played against the other only platoon that could keep up to our level, like on skill wise. And it got to the point where like I was beating their one guy so many times that they brought in another dude to block, and I was just beating the other guy, and I was getting pressure on the quarterback with 2 people on me. Then they brought in a third guy. They could not handle it still. Like they just could not figure out like how to stop me. And they had a bunch of big dudes, but they're big and slow. And I just had the speed, and just from watching football and like watching James Harrison clips, TJ Watt, JJ Watt clips, like I figured out how to beat people on the outside edge. Because like unless you actually, What's that?
Because I was like, I don't see you. That I was gonna ask you if you're going more on the edge and like trying to just more like go around it, opposed to like cutting through, like swimming through the middle and like
Yeah.
trying to break off stuff and trying to like. Because I didn't know if you were wedging inside, so that if you were to do like come inside, block off three people,
Mhm.
and then like another defensive guy comes in through behind and tries to get that. I didn't know how you were gonna break that down.
So they had it in the first game. They had the center, then they had a dude off, fucking off to his right hand side, my left.
You have a whiteboard?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But they had their center, fucking dude off to his right, my left, and I was lined up on the right or the left of him. And then they had a dude in the running back blocking next to the quarterback. And all
You
I
were
had to,
right outside.
yeah, I was
Right
just a little
outside,
bit
man.
off center.
Oh.
And all I had to do was just shoot really quickly off the fucking center. Like as soon as the ball was snapped, just shoot really quickly, and then dip underneath onto his right hand side. Both are right hand sides, and just come up underneath. And I was already in the quarterback's face, like just after the quarterback got the ball.
You tell me homie couldn't do the like
No, they like they
slide?
they would give me a good solid shove, but I'd already moved so much quicker, and I'd already beat him on their hips. And that's one
Get
thing.
AJ out of Montana.
Yeah.
Get him down there. Show those boys what's up.
But like, no, don't. I want to continue beating them. But yeah, like this is something I learned from basketball is like once you beat them on their hips, like if you get on their backhand side of however they position their hips, you've already won. Like there is nothing else you need to do. You just have to power through whatever fucking push they do to you, and like stay strong with your legs. And then the next dude is just like, he's fucking anticipating me to continue on the outside, trying to contain him to like where the rest of my people are at. I just fucking simply change up position, and I'm already in the fucking quarterback's face, and he wasn't ready for me. The next game, we played against the second worst team of the 4 platoons. And they started to realize, hey, yo, fucking, he's going to need a little bit more help because these dudes actually had like 3 or 4 dudes on the line. And
No, okay, it's 7, right?
it was 9 people.
9 people.
Yep.
Okay, so you'd have 3 line, 1 QB, 1 running back.
It was a
And
mix
then-
of like whatever worked for you guys, like whatever ended up being the best option. It ended up like every team started adapting 3 on the line, 1 running back, 1 quarterback, and then the rest being the other 4 being wide receivers. That was kind of how everybody ended up adapting to it.
No tight ends where they would do a little block and then break out.
Well, like if there was no one to block for me, like if they didn't rush 3, if they only rushed 2, someone would pop out and kind of be like a check down because everybody was eligible to be a receiver.
Oh, you didn't have any.
No.
Okay.
But like,
Illegal man downfield.
and like when I tell
Orange
you,
safety belt.
yeah, being on the line, like I already respected offensive linemen, and now I just respect them even more. Like I've always played skill positions, quote unquote, but offensive line is a completely different like kind of skill.
Skill position.
What's that?
How do you consider punter a skill position?
Well, like quarterback, wide receiver. Like I've played those positions all my
Giving you
life.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just giving.
Punter was just something I picked up in high school because they wanted all the quarterbacks to be punters, so that they confused the defense. Like, hey, the quarterback didn't come off. What's going on? And then fucking, you just take a couple steps back once they get their. If like they didn't put like an actual fucking receiving team out there, you take your steps back, and you can punt it, or like you can adapt whatever play you're gonna do.
I mean, well, you saw the way. Like, I wish I played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Opposed to just doing like schoolyard bullshit.
Mhm.
Because I really enjoyed it, but problem with our high school is, I guess you had to be in that shit way before.
Yeah.
Came in.
But on the second game, we started realizing like, hey, we can really fucking destroy teams if we get like 2 more people on the defensive line, because we already have really good skilled DBs and fucking safeties that are fucking phenomenal. And so we're like, hey, let's get 2 more dudes on there. And there's one dude that was a wrestler, and there's one dude that was a boxer. They're just big dudes, fucking strong. And I kind of had to teach like a little bit from what I learned playing on defense. Like, hey, yo, fucking dip your shoulder, get lower than them, beat them on the hips, and you'll fucking destroy them no matter what. And either way,
a lot of the time they beat on.
Yeah.
Like for defense, you're beating them like more speed because I'm assuming they didn't really know anything about the and then well, I'm assuming they also weren't going to do any like they weren't going to go too hard in the blocking department.
Well, a lot of the people were like fucking on other teams were giving me shit. They're like, yo, we're just out here to have fun, and then you came out here fucking going balls to the wall on the defensive line, and so like people actually had to start trying.
Well, this is my shit.
Yeah, like, this is what I thrive at.
Yeah,
and we had it. Once I told them like exactly what I wanted done, because like they had some pretty fucking fast quarterbacks out there. They're just like, we just need to contain him on the outside, like push him in, and then Murdo, the dude in the middle, can just continue to push back the center as much, and then we'll just end up collapsing on him. And once we did that,
did you have any like good fast QBs that would break out and try to like scramble for some yards?
There was one, but he did a lot of what I used to do, where like I'd fucking scramble out and continue to look downfield. Like I didn't try and just run it every time. But if there was an opening, like fucking wide as fuck opening, he'd fucking take it.
Yeah.
But that's where I ended up getting him sacked a lot of the times, though, because he continued to be looking, and I'd break off of my blocker, and I'd come up behind him, and I'd either fucking swat the ball or create enough distraction as he's getting ready to throw that he'd end up making a bad pass, or I'd sack him. Or I'd get him for a tackle just after he started passing the line of scrimmage for 1 yard. I get that quick tackle, and it'd be done. And once he started figuring out like that I was actually fairly good on the defensive line, whenever he'd bounce out to the other side, so it was a lot harder for me to track him down. But it ended up being that wrestler dude picked it up really fucking quickly, because he's used to the shooting really quickly and staying low. So for him it was a little bit more natural. And it was whenever one of us decided like it'd be easier to cut inside, that's when he'd really fucking burn us. And I just have to remind him like, yo, you gotta stay on his outside and fucking collapse him into where everybody else is at. Because I guarantee you we're beating everybody on the defensive line with strength and speed. And we can
as soon as if you got all 3 guys kind of pushing in this circle, if you get one asshole that kind of comes like this,
he's gonna see that and fucking
get,
break
like,
away.
Really one edge, then you're just opening up a pocket for him. And I mean, depending on how their wide receivers are, they're all running downfield, and there's not a ton of you know.
And it's just an easy 10 yards, fucking 20-yard run for him. We ended up beating the second team really fucking easy. It was 5-0. They had no defensive capabilities or anything like that. Like, it was too easy for us. They couldn't stop us on D-line. It was too easy. But then third platoon.
Were you guys doing it the first to 5, or like what was the scoring system?
It was a 30-minute running clock, no stops.
Okay.
And on the third game, it was just kind of like a for fun, because third platoon already lost twice, and they're like, it's double elimination, we're done. And they're like, hey, you guys want to play? And we're like, yeah, might as well, just to stay warm, like keep our muscles moving.
Yeah.
And like, again, like one of the dudes, I knew him from when I worked port, and he always talked up about how like he was really good on defensive line and playing offensive line too. And dude, when I tell you I was fucking smoking his ass, holy shit. He kept on going like, hey, yo, we need another dude up here to fucking help me block him. And he's like, so they ended up having like 4 dudes on the offensive line. and that was like the only way to like semi-contain me. But even like
This guy that's talking all this shit wasn't good.
either I was just he was too rusty, or I don't know what it was, but I was just smoking him on the outside edge. And once they got a second dude to help block him, it just made it a lot easier for the other two dudes that were on the defensive line to get to their quarterback. It was just became too easy.
Your real estate.
And then our quarterback was just like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna fucking stop before I get too hurt." And so I was like, "Fuck yeah, I get to play quarterback for a little bit for the last 4 minutes of the game." And their defensive line was a lot better than our offensive line once I got off of it, and also some of the dudes, they'd already played 2 games straight for 30 minutes that they were just like smoked, so they went off to the sideline, so we had a lot weaker of an offensive line.
Yeah.
And so I knew like they're gonna be on me as soon as this ball comes to my hands. And so I just immediately fucking scrambled out to the side and would look for someone semi-open close for my check down. And I got a couple good passes off. There was one that I overthrew. I just didn't have the ball fully in my hand, and there was like 3 people right behind me, 2 coming in front. And I'm just like, eh.
And I tried to like lob in just a little overshot.
Yeah, just overshot him. It wasn't by much. It was in a position where he could only catch it, but he just couldn't. It was just too high for him.
Yeah.
I did end up getting 1 touchdown pass, which I was pretty proud of. We were also playing wrap up because we didn't have enough flags at that point. And
then why didn't you do the flags? It was like, for like
since this wasn't like
the QBs.
It wasn't for the actual tournament, right? It was just like, and we barely had enough flags. Like we were having to switch off flags whenever people were subbing in and out. So it was just like we'll just play wrap up for whoever doesn't have flags. And there were some times where like they didn't have me fully wrapped up, and they just kind of like had little fucking hand tackles on me, like, "Oh, we wrapped you up." And I was like, "Motherfucker, no, you didn't." Like I was still moving forward. Wrapping up is like, yeah,
wrap up. I think for wrap up, depending on where you're playing, if both arms are around them touching, it's kind of like a 2-hand touch situation.
Yeah. And like there was one like I got on the quarterback, fucking immediately the left hand side fucking collapsed on me, so I rolled out. And then there's one dude that came screaming up, and I fucking gave him a fucking stiff arm. And he went up, like, he jumped up high because I went for the pump. And I fucking stiffed. And, like, he had his arms over the top of me, and I just rolled out, fucking super elusive, and just rolled down the field. And he was like, "Oh, you wrapped up." And he was like, "Motherfucker, no, you didn't."
Well, if you're jumping up and you're going for a swat, that's not wrapping up.
But, like, his hands came down over the top of me as I was, like, rolling out. And I think that's what he meant as, like, wrapping up.
I still would tell. I would say that's not wrapping up.
No. You didn't stop my forward momentum.
Guy, if it's like wrapping up, like they probably just don't care. So I would give him that one. That other guy, no.
So in typical me fashion, I had a shirt rip from being, getting someone to grab hold of me, and like me just powering through it, and they just ripped my shirt. So there's another shirt of mine that like on the left hand side. Just like with every time we played fucking football with
you always do that. I don't know how you did it.
It was like every game, my shirt fucking ripped. But yeah, I had another shirt rip on me.
Wild too. Is you would wear those dry fit, like slim shirts. So they're grabbing hold of you.
Yeah, and they're just fucking rip away at it. I'm just like.
They never tackled me very good, or they just wouldn't try to tackle me at all.
I did the thing that you always did, where you fucking just duck underneath and spin with him.
That's because they would always do. They would just grab you up, try like muscle you down. And I mean, I was telling this to TikTok. I was like, because that one all the open field tackles I would do on him, you just go low.
Yeah, you hit him at the waist and you drive him down.
Yeah, and I mean, because TikTok wasn't built like proportionately. Like most of the heavy bit is up top.
Yeah.
You go in for those and I'm not saying cheap shot slide tackle, which I used to do because I thought they were illegal. I found that they weren't.
Yeah.
But I mean, get them and or driving forward. I mean, you always do that shit.
Yeah.
they were just a lot of them. So either they were Tic Tac size,
Mm-hmm.
or they were like skinny
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
Which Will I thought was probably their best player.
Oh, yes.
Everyone else is just kind of twigs, so they could be going down easy. And I mean, most of the times they weren't even that fast.
Yeah. Like
So
the fucking the one fucking that one dude's fucking girlfriend.
I know you.
That
I
like
never understood them wanting to play with girls. Like
me
I didn't
neither.
really like it, but because they're like, yeah, you can tackle me, it's fine.
And like
okay,
I fucking just lightly pushed this one girl. Cause like I didn't want to fucking, and she fucking dies on the fucking field. He's like, hey, and the boyfriend's like, hey, motherfucker. I'm like, I just pushed. I just
yeah, right. Don't hit the player, hit the game, bitch.
yeah. It's just like, I just pushed. She fell and knocked herself
Now, if you
out.
would have stood over like, yeah, that's right, bitch. Get back in the kitchen where you belong. Fucking like kick her on there and shit.
No, it was just yeah. It was
Now Bethany, I'd tackle her every time.
dude. Fucking, we always gave. I know you used to give me shit all the time for that one tackle I had on Bethany, where like I didn't know like how high or low to fucking go on her.
Didn't you? You practically like.
Yeah, I ended up
flipped
just
her.
like I speared her and like straight
Yeah.
down. Like I jumped up to like go higher, but then like
Well, she was a good sport about it.
yeah, she was.
No,
She was a
I
tough.
don't blame you.
Yeah, she was tough.
Yeah.
She did handle it very well.
Mm.
And then there was Tom, who also did the same exact thing that I did. He like pushed out too high and was just like halfway through, fucking like jumped down. So like his his lower body was still going up, but his upper body was like going down. So
Well,
it just
Tom
looked,
was like a missile. Like
yeah. Oh
in
my
the
god.
physics battles, he was going for the speed.
Yeah.
You know, that was his thing. So
Fucking what was it? Jetty on that one kickoff after we were tired as shit and she rolled up with her Marine Poolie friends.
I don't even think those people showed up.
They did. There was like 3 of them, and like they were not good. They just had speed,
I don't remember
and
that.
that was it. They couldn't catch. They couldn't pass. Couldn't do much of anything other than just be fast.
Yeah, she died on that play.
Yeah, fucking dude. When I tell you that, like I was getting ready to go low, and like Tom just was like a split second. Like if he had been like a half a second later, we would have hit her fucking perfectly at the same time. Because I was going low, and I saw what Tom was doing. I'm sitting like, oh yeah, we're gonna fuck her up.
Yeah.
And I was going
It sounds
low.
way worse. For the people that are listening to this, she was the biggest bitch in the world, so it justifies it. They're not just going out there hitting defenseless women, you know.
And she like,
I bet you there's some women in your life you wish you could tackle.
and like there was an opportunity to hit someone that openly said, derogatory words. Let's
Oh, are you talking about at McDonald's when she
Yeah.
stood up and
yeah,
said, I
yeah.
hate
And
you
also was just,
you ready to move along to next week's scores?
she was just an absolute dick all around.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, you know, fucking, there was one other thing. It wasn't the jet. It was probably my greatest touchdown pass. Like, I've had some good ones playing full pads and fucking growing up playing flag and going in the pads a little bit. But there was
Right.
the one that me and Tom, when we played against those, after our fucking like 3rd or 4th game, and those middle schoolers just got out, and ended up all those dudes decided that they ended up being like varsity starters their freshman year of high school.
But the thing is too, there was like 30 of them, so
Yeah.
we didn't realize they were swapping out.
Yeah, but like
And there was one of them that didn't like a middle schooler.
no,
He was what? He's 7 foot, like 300 something pounds.
he was just a big motherfucker.
He's a big dude.
But like that, it was our second drive, and I had smoked them on the first drive because they tried rushing me, and I fucking broke the one kid's ankles, and then just walked into the end zone. But then that second drive, back in our own end zone, and Tom's doing this screamer across the field, and I just lay it out. And we were doing, what was it, like fucking 50 yards or so? We're doing
Yeah,
half the
something like
field.
that.
So I'm in the back of our own end zone, and Tom's going to the corner of their other end zone. So that's about a 70-yard pass. And it was just a fucking... I
Not
could
the one that he catched it and then they pushed him over
Yeah,
after he got it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I have never thrown a more beautiful pass like that. Perfectly timed where Tom's right there in the corner by himself and then gets pushed after fucking making the catch.
Mm-hmm.
Never thrown a more perfect pass ever in my life. Just my highlight, and I wish it was in, like, an actual football game where, like, I had... and it was recorded, and, like... Because there was some time, like, in high school, I had some pretty good passes for touchdowns, and I was just like, hell yeah. And then I remembered, oh yeah, fucking we're freshmen. We don't get recorded.
Yeah.
And it was like, that would have been fucking badass to see that pass, just to have a little bit, like, I could flex, like, yeah, I was a pretty good quarterback. Yeah.
So anyway,
next week's games. I am excited, though, to fucking start, what is it? Coaching for the intramural basketball league. Because it'll be like stories I can say every week. Like, oh yeah, this is what happened last week. Yeah.
So I kind of did a little bit with that with the softball.
Yeah. So Bills Lions. I'm going Bills. Easy on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
you know you're
Lions
playing at Detroit. Well, there's actually 3 Thanksgiving games.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 11:30, which is Bills and Lions, and Giants and Cowboys, and then Patriots and Vikings. So
Dude, and like I don't understand why they always put the Lions playing on Thanksgiving, the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and the Vikings.
I like it. I mean, they're not my teams.
Yeah.
But I enjoy seeing those 3 teams play.
So I'm actually kind of excited for the Giants Cowboys game because they're both 7-3.
I'm going for the Bills too. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. They're both 7-3. The Giants are 3-1 away, and the Cowboys are 4-1 at home. So they're basically almost even on their records.
The big thing right now is if the Giants can see how the Eagles made their defense look like just nothing,
Mm-hmm.
the Giants can win that game.
Yes.
If they take the defenses out of it and it's just offenses,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think the Giants have a little bit more production. And I don't know if it's just more trust in more Danny Dimes and Saquon Barkley. I think that they can win it.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Cowboys. It also could be because I'm not a huge, or excuse me, I'm going with the Giants mainly because I'm not a huge Cowboys fan. But I think if the Cowboys defense, that's the X factor.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys defense doesn't get covered by the coaches, then the Giants are gonna lose. But if they handle the Cowboys defense, I think they're gonna do a good job and win. The thing is, you just gotta make I don't care. Where is this coming from?
You have an ad fucking pop up?
Found it. It's these fucking ads. I need fucking to eliminate these fucking ads. Anyway, you can talk now.
No, I completely agree. I think the Giants, they've proven that they can play at a high caliber this year compared to the last couple seasons, and they can play against good teams.
Hello.
So I'm gonna go Giants over Cowboys. Also, I think I have a little bit of bias, just like you, where I don't really like the Cowboys, so I'm gonna go Giants over them.
Aaron's not going to the gym tonight. No, he's sick. Remember? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later. I don't know yet. All right,
So Patriots
These people
Vikings
can't
just
see 'em.
had a terrible loss. Do you
Well,
think they're gonna come back looking for revenge, or are they gonna be down in their own fucking?
I think so. The Patriots defense is good, but their offense isn't that good.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't see Mac Jones doing a lot of the turnovers that the or doing a lot that's gonna like what the defense.
Hmm.
Oh,
Ads are popping up.
yeah,
You
all
think you
over
could
the
also get
place.
a little bit closer to your mic too? You're starting to cut in and out when you lean back.
All right. Um, so I think Vikings are gonna win this one. I'm sorry.
I agree too. I know it sounds like I'm just piggybacking off of you, but like we said the
Well,
last
then
couple weeks, we're starting to get to that point
I'll
of the
let
season where things are getting semi-predictable.
yeah.
I'm not saying the Patriots don't have the ability to win. I just think the Vikings have a much better chance of winning. And I feel like they're going to be coming back out for blood after their terrible loss, after going a 3-game win streak. So I think they're going to come out like looking to fucking to show like, yeah, we had this bad loss this one game. We're coming back out here to fucking wreck shit. I'm gonna end up going Bucks over the Browns just because it's the Browns.
I want to look real quick. So Giovanni Bernard isn't starting, injured. Um, I just want to look at some stuff real quick.
Also, it's like it's Tom Brady. It's the fucking goat.
Yeah. Well, I'll say the Browns defense probably, well, as you look at it, they're actually really kind of close. Not, so let me explain.
Yeah.
For the Buccaneers, points per game is 18.3, while their points allowed per game is 18.
Hmm.
And then you look, and so you see just a slight increase in the points that they get.
Yeah.
Browns is a little concerning because they points per game is 24,
Mm-hmm.
so they're scoring high numbers,
Yeah.
but they allow 26.9. So that's a problem that their defense isn't
Yeah.
there.
And that probably explains why they're 3-7 right now.
Yeah.
So who are you going with
Yards,
on this one?
I'm still because they're really identical.
Game time
When it comes to
decision.
yards allowed, game time decision.
Yep.
Man,
What does your
I'm
gut
not.
tell you?
I'm not gonna upset alert, am I? I'm gonna go upset alert and just pick Cleveland just out of a weird gut feeling.
Fucking send it.
I guess I am. I
All
got
right.
no discernible reason. I don't. It doesn't even seem like a good idea. Like
Yeah.
in the back of my head, it's just like this doesn't seem like a good call. But something else in my head is like, try it. Be
Yeah.
bold.
Titans Bengals. I'm gonna go Titans.
Man.
The Bengals have just not impressed me enough compared to last season.
They had a slow start, but look at them now. They're 6-4.
Yeah, but
That's
also
even-
the Titans are 7-3 and they're 3-1 at home, and the Bengals are 3-3 away.
I think a lot of that's because they're really rough start, but they've really turned it on since then. Well, here's the thing too. Is what's his face? Is Jamar Chase?
Is he
Accuracy
playing?
still in? Okay, so both Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase are questionable. And Jamar Chase is questionable as of today.
Ooh.
So they still have a decent amount of time that he might play. So if you're all right with it, I will call it. If Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon get cleared, I will say the Bengals are winning. If they don't, then the Titans are gonna win because they're just gonna have a better offensive overload.
So I put Bengals dash Chase / Mixon, and then if they don't play, then it's you chose Titans.
Yes.
Okay. Texans, Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins. There's nothing to break down here.
No. Bears, Jets. I want to go Jets over the Bears. They're 1-5 away. And they're 3-8, so I'm thinking Jets.
Yeah, the problem is the Jets are 2-3 at home.
I know, but 1-5 is a lot worse than fucking 2-3.
You're right. You know what? I'll go with the Jets too because I'm looking at their last 5. I mean,
so here's one that's going to be a lot harder to pick: Falcons over Commanders. I want to say Falcons just because I like Marcus Mariota, but I think the Commanders are just on a little bit of a more of a roll than the Falcons.
They're definitely on a roll right now, man. It's amazing to see. So Kyle Pitts is injured reserve, so he's probably not going to be in. Chase Young is questionable, so he might be in. I think if Chase Young can come back, that's amazing for that team. The big thing, so of their last 5, Falcons have lost 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders have only lost 1, and it was to Minnesota.
Yep.
So I think Washington is going to be my pick.
Okay, you're also going to go Commanders?
Correct.
All right. Broncos, Panthers.
I kind of trust Russell Wilson more than I trust
whoever the fuck the fucking Panthers have.
Yeah, either if that's going to be TJ Walker or Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
like.
They're both
3-3 at home, and the Broncos are 1-4 away. So I wouldn't be super surprised if the Panthers won.
No.
But I think Russell Wilson needs a game where they're turning their shit around, and I think they need to do it sooner rather than later.
I also think this is that game that he can turn it around because the Panthers don't have the best defense. It's like you have a shitty offense going against a shitty defense, and so it's just kind of like, who's going to prevail?
Yeah.
And like, Jesus. I mean, even the Panthers' offense isn't even that good. So, yeah, I'm going Broncos.
I'm going Broncos, but I mean, this is a game that if we look back and it's in a red column for me, I'm not going to be upset.
No,
I'm really going to shrug and tell you I didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
and I really know a ton of what happened, but I'm like, whatever.
I'm going Ravens over Jaguars. I feel like that's an easy pick. Even though I like Trevor Lawrence and they have been playing very well, I think the Ravens are just a little bit better.
Well, I think the Ravens are going to do well in a warmer climate. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're 4-1 away, which I didn't know about. Like, that's a really good
Yeah.
like stat to have. And I think if they kind of sit down and look at the problems that they had this last week against the Bears
Hmm.
and they for the Jaguars, I I can't foresee it being in a realm where Lamar Jackson doesn't do well and
Yeah.
sorry doesn't improve and you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha. Chargers over Cardinals. I'm going Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers are trying to pick it back up. A lot of their guys who are injured are coming back. Austin Eckler's on fire. He's I think number one in since week 4 with touchdowns. I think he had like 10
Yeah.
so far. I think he has the most carries. I believe. No, that doesn't seem right. But he's number one in something else. I can't think about it. But
Yeah.
the Cardinals offense is fucking floundering. The only thing they have is DeAndre Hopkins. But with either Chase McSorley and I don't even know if Colt McCoy's gonna play because he got his hand stomped on last game.
Oh Jesus.
And I don't know if Kyler Murray's coming back, but it might be double XP weekend, so who fucking knows?
Seahawks over Raiders against the Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks. Easy picks.
I hope Seahawks wins. I mean, had a hot start. Now they're 6-4.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole NFC West is been pretty pissed poor lately.
Rams against the Chiefs.
49ers been picking up. Oh, like I love the Rams, but the Chiefs are winning this.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna put false hope. Like can we not talk about this game? Let's just move along.
All right. Saints against the 49ers. I'm going to go 49ers over the Saints.
I'm also going to go 49ers. I think after this week, 49ers, I think, are going to solidify themselves as number one fantasy West. I don't see it in a realm where they, like, when people are calling them Super Bowl contending teams, I just don't see it right now.
Yeah.
I can see them going into the playoffs. I just don't foresee them winning.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, I need to add in a couple more columns. All right, cool. Packers against the Eagles. I'm going Eagles.
I'm going Eagles too. I mean, the Packers are trying. Like, they're trying to get started again, and I can. But the thing is they have like one good game against Dallas, but they still need They have no good offensive talent except for Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. Everyone else is just like I was like
mediocre at best.
We talked about this. We're like, he's still fucking playing.
Yeah.
So.
And then I'm gonna go Steelers over Colts. I feel like their past couple weeks of playing the Steelers have actually shown they have a little bit of life, and I feel like the Colts are just a bad enough team that I feel like the Steelers could outperform them just a little bit.
The thing I will say is that they're both like underperforming, I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like the root of the problem because I think they do very well in the first half, and then they get tired because there's not a ton of offensive production. Because I mean, per game, you guys are averaging 17 points, which is better than their 15.7.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're looking at the last 5, the only team that the Colts have beaten out of their last 5 is the Raiders. Even though all of these are really close, like Eagles 17-16, okay, minus New England, that's an outlier, 26-3. Washington 17-16 and Titans 19-10. I mean,
yeah,
all of those are 1 if not 2 score games. And then Steelers, honestly, they get the absolute break speed off of them unless, well, okay, I take that back. So the Bengals was 37-30. They beat New Orleans. They lost pretty badly to the Eagles. They only lost by 6 points to Miami. So I will say if the Steelers can play a full game of football, I can see the Steelers winning. So I guess right now put the Steelers down for me, but I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't be upset next week if we look back and
Okay.
the Colts won.
And that pretty much covers it for next week. So I can look at college just for shits and gigs.
Yeah. But I said last week it was really short and I was very tired. And so were you.
Yeah. I'm still very tired. I need to go shower here soon.
Really?
I went to the gym, ate my dinner, and then was just like, all right, cool, time to start recording. So this is actually interesting. Fucking Tulane is the 21 or ranked 21 right now. And they're a team that like you don't really see them play ranked like much, like ever. Like I don't think I've ever seen them be ranked before. Iowa State lost to Texas Tech.
I'm sorry, we're talking about college football or we're calling it college basketball?
College football.
Okay. And Nebraska almost won until the last quarter.
Let me Oklahoma beat Oklahoma State, which is actually an upset. Oklahoma State's 22 and Oklahoma's unranked. Army absolutely fucking shit on UConn, 34-17.
Has the Army and Navy game or the Army and the Air Force game, has any of those happened yet?
I think Army Air Force has happened. I'm not so certain.
I think the big one is Army Navy.
Yes, that's the big one. Texas absolutely shit on Kansas, 55-14. Holy shit! Fucking where's Nebraska at?
They played Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, fucking 15-14. Wow, that's fucking close.
Well, they had the 14. I think first and second
and third quarter. Second and third. Yep.
Yeah. And then I think everyone was like, "Woo, we're gonna win!" Woo.
Yeah.
And we didn't. No.
It looks like Wisconsin just had a bunch of field goals in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Which I mean, like that. I think that's a super.
Yeah.
Hey, that's like I think for like when you're looking at it, you're like we were down and we didn't stop fighting. Those are victories that. Yeah.
Looking for any other good games for. Oh, there's a Nebraska-Iowa game.
Yep.
That's this weekend.
Black Friday. Every Black Friday, so.
Oh, Iowa State's gonna get shit on by TCU. They're actually, so I'm gonna say this: Iowa State has been known for like beating top 5 teams that everybody just fucking writes off Iowa State for not winning. It's like something that they've always done. Whenever they're like unranked and they're not playing that good, they're like, oh yeah, Iowa State's gonna get shit on, and then they come out and fucking put up a good fight. We'll take it into overtime and end up winning, or they'll win it last second. So I'm gonna have to pay attention to this game, the Iowa State TCU game.
Well, you're gonna be in town this weekend, right?
Yeah, maybe we can all watch it together.
What can you tell me your days right now, or are you worried that?
I'm going to come up Wednesday and going to be there through noon Sunday. It's just a regular fight night this week, right? It's not pay-per-view?
Saturday?
Yeah.
There's no pay-per-view, no.
Okay.
there's not even a fight night this week. It just goes to December 3rd.
Yeah. We could talk a little bit off the air, but yeah, let's just call it a night. I feel like this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Catch you guys next week.